been here since daylight. I've been listening, waiting for a bird to gobble. New spot this morning. Hadn't hunted here this year. Hunted here a few times last year, and I hadn't come down here to scout at all. And as you can see, I'm basically in a spot where they cut a bunch of woods out. So that changes things. But, because I wanted to come in here to this spot because I knew it was a decent spot last year. But since they've cut these woods, it makes it a little bit different. But I have heard a turkey gobble. And he's not too far. I've only heard him once. So I don't know if he's gobbled more than that or not, but if he has, I hadn't heard him. It's been kind of tough to hear this morning because for some reason where I stopped at to listen, I don't know why, but there was about 334 whippoorwills right where I wanted to stand and listen, and I couldn't hear nothing. Hey, Goblin, we got to go in the woods. We got to go to him. He's still a good piece, but we got to see if we can get close to him. I don't know if I was recording or not. I don't think I was, but anyway. I done kind of got to the top now. I'm up on a little knob. Get right up there. These woods are super thick, man. There's a bunch of background noise. There's geese going, dogs barking. Whoa. Oh, he's right here. Oh, he's right here. He's on the ground. I'm not in a good position to kill him. He's close, close. We're gonna have to move on him again. There was some hens flew down over there, right by that road I walked down. I may have to go down back where I came from. And he's close. He's really, really close. But where I'm at, there's no way he's gonna come to me. I mean, it is super, super thick. Look at all that junk. I gotta move. He's right in a patch of thick junk, man. On top of the hill, but right now there ain't no way I can get to him because it's thick up there. Yeah, he was a lot closer than I thought. I just don't know. I know there's a hen this way. Might be coming. Well, it was 15, it was 10, 15 yards. I couldn't get ready in time because he came running. I should have just shot. There's a bunch of junk though. I could never see his head, that's why I didn't shoot. I mean, I seen him one time, but then as soon as I was about to pull the trigger, he threw his head behind the tree. I mean, I was actually in a good spot to kill him because he couldn't see me hiding the hen. He ran back over the hill. He may. He may get fired back up, I don't know. There was a hen down here in the bottom behind me, and that's what made him come on in. I don't know if the camera, well, no, the camera didn't see it because it was facing him. I don't even know if you can see him in the camera. I'm sure it picked him up. But there was a hen right here in the bottom. That's what made him go ahead and come. He just started like trotting. He was 40, 50 yards and I just couldn't see him. And he heard that hen back here. This hen was behind me in this bottom. And she was, I don't know what, she probably saw me. But she was over there. And she started walking pretty quick. And he heard her walking. Because I quit calling. I mean, because I didn't need to. Because there was a hen up in that road that I was just in. And she was just a yelping and making him gobble. So there was no point in me calling. And he was just gobbling, gobbling, gobbling. And then all of a sudden the hen was right here in the bottom. He was ready. The hen was in that bottom. He heard her walking and run. like walking fast, and that's what made him break. He came, running, and he was 10, 15 yards. Maybe he'll calm back down and I can get him to gobble here in a little bit. I think he's gonna stay in this block of woods. There's a big old cutover on the other side of where he came from. So he'll probably stay in these woods. We'll just sit here for a little bit. Maybe let him calm down. Man, he was like 10 yards. He was 15 yards. I just never got a shot of his head. And then once he saw me, he stayed behind that tree. And he kind of walked away, and then after that he was walking through all them bushes and I couldn't see his head. God dang it, man. Well, that was a waste of SD card and battery. I'm gonna go back up here. I'm gonna sit right on the top of this hill for just a minute. Let everything calm down. And then I think I'm gonna go to the house and quit turkey hunting. God almighty, man. How many times do I have to get a turkey in range? Just don't make no sense to me. I just don't get it. I don't freaking get it, man. It don't make no freaking sense. That son gun should have died. I just couldn't crawl on him. He wasn't gobbling enough. And there wasn't enough cover. Because see, where I thought he was when he was over that hill, it wasn't a drop off. It just stayed flat. And yeah, there's a lot of shrubs and stuff right there, but he would have picked me out. I needed something solid, like a big tree or something like that. And there just wasn't a tree big enough. I should have killed him that first time. I just wasn't prepared. I was being freaking stupid. Which, to be honest, I was not expecting him to come the way he did. That's why I had my gun like this, kind of to the left, because I was expecting him to come down that hill. Because that's where all the hens were. plus that was his easiest path. It was wide open down the side of the hill he was on. But in between me and him, it was all that thick junk, all them sweet gums and all that junk. He walked right straight through it, right to me. 15 yards. And he got there, and so the camera couldn't even see him either. There was leaves covering him. But he got there, and he stood behind a tree. He got there and he went in strut. And then he come out of strut, and the whole entire time, I mean, I could see his head before, but it was all in that brush. I could just see it bobbing, And then as soon as he got there, as soon as he was where I needed him to be to shoot him, he was right behind a tree, and that sun gun was about big around as my leg, a little bit bigger than that. And he stood right behind it and went in strut. His head was right behind the tree. I could see everything else. I could see his body. And then he saw me or something. He seen me. And then he turned, walked directly away, stayed behind that tree for another 6 steps. And then got back in all that thick junk and walked off. I mean, I could see him bits and pieces, but I never saw his head. I didn't even know where his head was. How do you let a turkey get inside 20 yards? I'm gonna tell y'all what. This is tough. This is real tough. Man, he was ready. He's done now. I doubt he probably ain't gonna gobble no more.